All hail Biafra. This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please do subscribe, like, share, and comment.
Recent public opinion polling in Nigeria. Nigerians in the southeast and south-south regions are most likely to perceive the national government as ineffective compared to other regions. The southeast and south-south regions were the location of the historic homeland of the Igbo people, who form the core of the secessionist Republic of Biafra, and a high concentration of Biafrans continue to live in these regions. Despite Igbos being the third largest ethnic group in Nigeria, there has yet to be an Igbo president since the end of the war in 1970, leading to a feeling of marginalization among the Igbo people. Beyond ethnic marginalization, BRGIE has cited increased threats of insecurity as a justification for the self-referendum. ORB data found that respondents in the southeast region are the most likely to feel unsafe in their communities compared to all respondents. While insecurity issues like kidnapping, killings, and the destruction of property have plagued the southeastern region of Nigeria for years, the level of violence caused by militants and terrorists continues to increase. The national government has been unable to curb the increasing violence in the region. This increasing threat of violence, coupled with the ethnic marginalization of the Igbo people living in this region, could be a current trigger for why Biafrans want to secede from Nigeria. While the Nigerian national government has not commented on the Biafran self-referendum, in January 2024, Abuja reaffirmed its opposition to any separatist activities while citing the One China policy. The policy refers to China's position that there is only one Chinese government, wherein Taiwan is a province of China rather than a separate country and government. Although the government did not link its opposition to Taiwanese separatist movements with the Biafran self-referendum, several Nigerian social media users discuss the link between the two separatist movements. Based on this, it is unlikely the Nigerian government will support the results of the self-referendum and subsequent restoration of the independent state of Biafra. Given this data, it is unclear whether the Nigerian government's response to the results of the self-referendum will be through political statements or escalate to a military confrontation. Therefore, it will be important to keep an eye on Biafra over the coming months.
The United States of America is a steadfast supporter of the principles that people have a right to choose their own form of government. Nations have a right to choose their own alliances. There are inalienable rights governments must protect. The rule of law must be cherished. Sovereignty and territorial integrity of all states must be respected.
The UN Charter and its principles of sovereignty, territorial integrity, human dignity, and the right to self-defense, these principles are universal and we must uphold them. International law must be protected always and everywhere, without any ambiguity, in Ukraine, in the Middle East, and everywhere in the world. This is our global responsibility.
Self-preservation must be protected at all costs. Today, the Biafra Liberation Army have neutralized dozens of these terrorists in our land, and we are proud of them. They will continue to go down. Our demand is very simple. Pull them out of Biafra land. Remove every checkpoint. If you do not dismantle all the checkpoints, they will continue to die. We will continue to excel. We will continue to deal with Nigeria, and Nigeria will never ever remain the same until Biafra exits from Nigeria. A government that uses violence will be responded with the same and equal measure of violence in self-defense. So I told them, if here is not taken, I will turn to a beast and Biafra will come. Nigeria has no rule of law. Their rule of law is gun and bullet. And we have come to resist it. My fellow Biafrans, the world leaders made it very clear that self-preservation is a must. They use the word must. And it should be protected at all costs. at all costs.
Regular audits and inspections of airlines and aviation infrastructure can also help maintain compliance and identify areas for improvement. Next, we have Friends of Biafra Land. Collaboration with neighboring countries and international organizations is another crucial aspect. Airspace safety is not confined by national borders because planes can fly and it's easy to go from place to place. So therefore, fostering partnerships with neighboring countries for coordinated air traffic management and emergency response can enhance overall safety. Participation in regional aviation safety initiatives and sharing best practices with international partners can further strengthen Biafra's aviation safety framework. For instance, collaboration with Tanzania, Cote d'Ivoire, Ethiopia, Finland, Gabon, and other Friends of Biafra Land can help us. Next, there's investing in us, investing in Biafran citizens. Investment in human resources is equally vital. We must invest in training and continuous professional development for air traffic controllers, pilots, maintenance crew, flight attendants, and aviation safety inspectors. Good training ensures that personnel are well equipped to handle complex operational scenarios and respond effectively to emergencies. When your pilot is flying you around, it is also his or her job to keep you safe in the event of an emergency. In addition to flight attendants as well, their job is also to keep us safe in case something goes wrong. Additionally, promoting a safety culture within the aviation industry encourages proactive reporting of safety concerns and incidents. And this can help facilitate continuous improvement and risk mitigation. One moment, please. Word in Biafra aviation. So it's important to spread public awareness and education initiatives when it comes to aviation in Biafra land. This is because we want to make sure that our citizens are well aware of how to stay safe when flying, and anyone who would like to become a pilot or work in aviation can also stay safe as well. This includes campaigns highlighting safety procedures, as I mentioned earlier, as well as passenger rights. Okay, so as I was saying, spreading the word with Biafra aviation, public awareness and education initiatives are essential to cultivating a safety-conscious mindset among air travelers and stakeholders. This includes campaigns highlighting safety procedures, passenger rights, and emergency protocols that can empower individuals to make informed decisions and contribute to a safer aviation environment. And to summarize this part of the presentation, enhancing the safety of Biafra's future airspace demands a holistic approach, which can encompass technological innovation, regulatory diligence, so following the rules and making sure that these rules make sense as to what we're trying to achieve, international collaboration between different countries, investment in human capital and resources, so investing in Biafra's youth and anyone else who would like to join the aviation world, as well as data-driven insights and public engagement, which can be fostered by spreading the word on social media and so forth. By adopting these strategies and by continuously redefining them in response to emerging challenges, Biafra can ensure that its airspace remains safe, efficient, and conducive to sustainable growth in the years to come. In practical terms, how can we create more pilots in Biafra land? Inspiring new Biafran pilots and encouraging individuals to pursue careers in aviation is crucial for fostering a robust and skilled workforce that will contribute to the growth and safety of Biafra's aviation industry. Several strategies can be employed to attract aspiring pilots and professionals to the field of aviation. The first strategy is raising awareness. Raising awareness about the opportunities and rewards in a career in aviation is essential. Initiating outreach programs in schools and universities to educate students about the various roles within the aviation sector can help spark interest early on. We can also create career fairs, seminars, and guest lectures that can feature experienced pilots and aviation professionals that can provide valuable insight into the industry's dynamics and potential career paths. So, in other words, we can get people that are already in the industry, like pilots, like maintenance, to help mentor those who are looking to join the aviation industry and give guidance to those that would like it. Aviation is a great and incredible career, but only those that are exposed to it can realize it. Next, we have partnerships. Establishing partnerships with aviation training institutions and flight schools to offer scholarships, internships, and apprenticeships can make pilot training more accessible and affordable for aspiring pilots. Financial barriers often deter individuals from pursuing pilot training, so providing financial assistance or sponsorship opportunities can help candidates embark on this career path. So what we need to do is make piloting or anything to do with aviation more accessible to those who may not have the money, because that's the number one barrier worldwide stopping people from pursuing aviation. As well as a new nation, Biafra can partner with friends of Biafra like Finland, who owns Finnair, to help sponsor the best of the best Biafran pilots. We can start making these connections now. Step 3 will be mentorship. We need to create supportive and an inclusive environment within the aviation community. Mentorship programs can help pair experienced pilots with aspiring ones who, as I said earlier, can offer guidance, practical advice, and encouragement throughout the long and difficult training process. If we highlight success stories of Biafran pilots who have achieved milestones in their career, they can serve as an inspiration as well as motivation for newcomers to the industry. Step 4 is structure. We must incentivize career progression and professional development as well. This means offering clear and structured pathways for advancement, like training programs from college or secondary school and forwards, as well as career progression opportunities, and we must offer competitive salaries that can help demonstrate our commitment to the industry and demonstrate our commitment to investing in Biafran pilots. Of course, over the long term as well. Piloting is a very cool and prestigious career, and Biafran's government can make it easier with clear steps on what to do to have a career in the aviation industry, because a big deterrent for most people is that they don't know where to start. Step 5 is social media. Leveraging digital platforms and social media to showcase the excitement and fulfillment of a career in aviation can help reach a broader audience and capture the interests of tech-savvy individuals as well. Sharing real-time experiences, behind-the-scenes insights, and testimonials from aviation professionals can paint a vivid picture of the diverse and dynamic nature of the industry. Next is culture. We must foster a culture of safety, professionalism, and excellence within the aviation community. Aviation cannot happen and it cannot be successful without safety being first and foremost. We're asking pilots to be proficient enough and professional enough to carry the lives of people that they don't know in the hundreds to go from place to place. So we must make sure that we have a culture of safety in aviation in Biafra. This means emphasizing the importance of adherence to international aviation standards, continuous training, and professional ethics. This can help instill confidence among aspiring pilots, and it also helps assure them of the industry's commitment to maintaining high standards of safety and operational integrity. Aviation is amazing because of the culture and the standards that it encompasses. and the BAA believes that every pilot finds a piece of themselves when they fly, and safety is a big part of it, and as I said, it should be non-negotiable. So the take-home message of this presentation is that the BAA believes that Biafra can cultivate a talented and diverse aviation workforce capable of driving the industry forward and ensuring its long-term sustainability and success. The BAA hopes that very soon we will all have the privilege to fly Biafra Air. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
All right, thank you very much, the Minister of Aviation, Administration of Biafra, Republic Government in Exile, Mazi Chidera, Okitoma, for that wonderful presentation. And Biafra people, you can go to the website of the government and, of course, the Aviation Department or the Aviation Administration of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile website, which is it live already, or is this still in process? Chidera?
It's still in process.
All right, okay. So very soon, when the website of the department is ready and live, we are going to announce to the Biafrans. Of course, this is just a foundation of what you can expect in the Biafra government and Biafra as a nation. We are not going to be like Nigeria, where they will just be presenting the picture of aeroplane in London, and there is no aeroplane. The Nigeria Airways and the flyers, it is never flying, and so we're not going to be that kind of country. You know, like we have promised Biafrans, we are bringing Finland to Biafra land. So we have like the Fin Air, like he rightfully said, we're going to have the Biafra Air, you know, and we're going to have our own Biafra government, commercial flights and all that. So this is just a foundation that we're laying, making sure that every structure that gave us the right to be recognized by international community under the Montevideo Convention, that qualifies you to become a nation and be recognized as a government. So we are putting those particular foundations in place. That's what we're doing here. And today we have unveiled the Biafra Aviation Administration, the BAA. Thank you, Biafrans. And I hand over to the media team and crew, or whoever have questions to ask to the Minister of Aviation. I believe it will be here to answer your question. Otherwise, I take my leave as I have other meetings that they are waiting for me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, PM, sir. Thank you, everyone in the House. The Minister of Aviation, I believe, is still here. Please, if there is anyone that have a question that relates to what the presentation you just made or that relates to aviation, please raise your hands, especially those in the House. We have close to 100 people in this Zoom room. So just raise your hand. Let's have a few minutes for him to answer some of your questions. So we're going to do that. Minister of Information, Mazi Soni, what do you have to say? I hand over to you in case there's something you want to say before the questions start coming up.
We just want to say a very big kudos to the Aviation Minister for the good work that he has done there. And like he said, the website will be open for view going forward. So please, if you have questions like the Deputy Minister of Information just said, the mic is yours. Mic is yours. The Minister of Education is here to attend to your questions. If you have any question, and if there is none,
okay, we have a hand up. that is Ego Biafra International. Mazi Chidara, I hope you're still in the room. Questions are going to be coming for you, so please be ready to respond. You are co-host, so once the questions are asked, you open your mic and you respond, sir. Ego Biafra International, please unmute yourself and ask your question, please.
Okay. Thank you, Biafrans all over the world. I am happy to be here. Thank you, the Minister for Aviation. That was a wonderful rendition of the presentation, and I'm so happy. So my question, during your presentation, you made mention of training. So, I wanted to know, what are your plans when it comes to that training? Are you planning to, the training, is it going to be in homeland, whereby, because I was thinking that on the process of we read Declaration of our Independence, it may be possible that we have all these things ready so that we can take up immediately as a government. So what are the process by way of training, and how can people who are interested, how can they get involved in the training process? Thank you.
Hey, thank you for the question. So when it comes to training pilots, I would say that definitely if you already have a pilot certificate, that would be a good place to start. A lot of countries, as I mentioned, they contract out their training to other countries that are allies. So that would be a good place to start. Of course, I would love to start the training process of pilots in Biafra land as well. So either way could really work. If you, for example, live in Finland and you have those certs that you earned there, there's no reason why those certificates also would not be good enough for Biafra land as well. You would just have to undergo a conversion process. As for the training of pilots in Biafra land, we are still working on the certain rules and the hour requirements that you would need. But once that's all set up, then of course that could also be an option as well.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Ego Biafra. And if you got no other question, we'll lower your hands and get another person to ask. I think one question would do, except if the questions are very, very relevant and the minister would want to engage more. Simon, unmute yourself. You've got at least 60 seconds to bring your question. Please go ahead.
Greetings, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Go ahead, please.
I can hear you.
Okay. Greetings to the Biafran government in exile. Greetings to Biafrans and lovers of freedom all over the world. My question is to the Minister of Aviation of Biafra. As someone that is very much interested in UAVs, drones, and all that, so my question to you, sir, is what are we to expect from Biafra as drone specialists?
Okay, you're interested in drones. Yeah, so where I live in the United States, people who operate drones are also called drone pilots as well. Biafra would 100% support the use of drones because drones are good for photography, videography, and also keeping us safe in another way with surveillance as well. We haven't really gotten into drone piloting yet in terms of the certification, but that will 100% be added and looked at. Drones would be allowed and even encouraged to be used in Biafra. And I'm glad that you brought that up because that's a really great and fun tool to use.
Thank you, Umar Biafra. I hope you're good with that. Thank you. All right, lower your hand and go to the next. Mommy Ulo Ubona, please we'll unmute your mic. If you want your camera on, please go ahead and put it on, please. If there's anyone that wants their camera on, please go ahead and put your camera on. Our Mommy Ulo, unmute yourself and bring your question, please.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening,
You're
ministers.
welcome.
Yeah, Pastor Van, I greet you specially.
You're welcome.
I just want to ask the Minister of Aviation a question regarding the airports that we already have in Biafra land. Now, we know we have about 5, is it 4 Owerri, Port Harcourt, Anambra, and Ebonyi State. Airports that are said to have been built on international level. So with the states being so close to one another, are we going to have more proliferation of airports all the 40 states wanting their own airports, or are we just going to just develop this 4 that we already have, since the states are so contiguous, to one another, just to develop to world standard, make these 4 the best there is, and then just go with, and not just let every state now run amok and have their own airports, which is going to consume resources anyway. Abia State is also trying to build their own airport. So with that said, what's going to be the policy for approving and building of new airports in Biafra land? Thank you.
Yes, thank you for the question. I agree that not every state in Biafra needs an international airport, and the ones that we do have can 100% be brought up to world standard. When someone is visiting a new country, their first impression of the country is seen at the airport. So the airports that we have, like Port Harcourt's airport, will 100% be focused on and developed and brought up to world standards that you will find in any other country. Now, when it comes to airports in other states, however, that doesn't mean that there still won't be airports there. But it also doesn't mean that there will be massive international airports. They can also just be small airports, like a grass strip or a small runway that people use to train and learn how to fly in. Because these bigger airports that we already have, they take international traffic from other countries, such as France, for example. So if we have smaller airports that don't require nearly as much resources or money, we can still use these airports to train new pilots as well. And if someone wants to take a quick flight to another state in a small plane, for example, it wouldn't really be an international airport, but it would be a domestic airport, if that makes sense.
Okay, thank you very much. And our Mommy Ulo, I hope you're good with that, or do you want to add up another question, follow up, or are you okay? All right, I think she is okay with that. And since there are no further hands that are up, Minister of Information, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, I think the questions, we've exhausted the questions we have. So okay, we have another hand up.
Yeah.
Okay, we have another hand up. Oma Anumege, please unmute yourself and bring your question.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, ministers, Minister of Information, Deputy. My question goes to the Minister of Aviation. I just want to ask, just like in the U.S., are we going to have, is that in the structure where we have rental cars and, parking, if someone wants to fly through like an airport in Iguacha, and he or she drives a car from, let's say, Ori to Iguacha.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I didn't quite understand what you asked.
Yeah, please, Omar, your mic was not very clear. It wasn't smooth. Can you come back again with the question?
Okay, I was saying that, just like in the U.S. and other advanced countries, Are we going to have like a parking where if someone drives from one of those states that don't have airports, you can park your car and then like it can charge you for the time your car or your vehicle is going to be at the parking place? You know, like having parking for like thousands of cars. Is there anything like that in the mind frame of the development and structure of the new airports?
Okay, yeah, thank you. So, yes, that would go into making our airports world-class. There should be parking for people that want to drive to an airport and then fly away for a couple of days and then come back. I think in order to help fund that, that parking would have to be charged maybe per day or per week, but that's definitely in the plans for at least the 4 major airports that we have currently, yes.
Okay, thank you. That's done. All right. I think with the absence of no further questions, Minister, if there's a closing remark, we should go ahead with that. What's the program?
All right. To close, I would like to once again thank everyone for listening to my presentation and bearing with me through the technical difficulties. Thank you for taking time out of your evening for listening to what I had to say. Thank you for your hope in the country that we're trying to build. I believe that it can happen, and I believe that it will happen. I hope that you all have a good night, and thank you for your attendance today.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you very much. Mazi Sonny, are you there?
Yes, my minister. Let Biafrans understand and remember that in 1966 to 67 to 68 to 70, 79, during that time of the genocidal war, that the Biafran government had embarked on building a plan. And they did all this on their own, with no knowledge or invention from any other person. And then those that had the powers that be did not allow them to take it to the end. That was then, when they had nothing. But here we are in the era of technology, where you are opportune to meet everything and to utilize everything that you have. So we love the aspiration and the admiration and the joy of all you need in Biafra aviation system. And we can assure you that you will get more than what you expect. So give all your support to the Biafran government so that we make it a reality. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful evening from my end. Good night and goodbye, everyone. Thank you, Minister of Aviation. God bless you. And we appreciate our Prime Minister for being here with us.
Yes. And thank you to the Prime Minister as well. Have a good night, everyone.
All right. Bye.